Well, hey, everybody. Mac here with Judy, Lisa, and Wendy, and we wanted to take a few minutes and just share with you all some of the highlights of what I thought was an incredible meeting on September 9th in Phoenix, Arizona, where we all came together or came out of the 115-degree heat, I should say, to come inside and have a wonderful meeting where we had Dr. Ruben Chen, Sonny Butler, the CEO of Sunrider, the founders of Sunrider, Dr. and Mrs. Chen, and Sehan Kim and Kevin Crandall as well from the Sunrider staff. They're participating with us as we basically shared and came together and enjoyed each other on what was a wonderful day. If I can, maybe I can just start, Judy, with you, and I'm going to come off a shared screen here just so you guys can see us better. But Judy, maybe you can share with us a little bit about what a couple of your highlights were coming out of the day.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody who showed up. I tell you, we hear a lot about in person and how much more we get out of being together when we're physically present. And that certainly was the case. And so while I'm with my three favorite people right here, I enjoy very much. And I have the opportunity to talk on the phone and make these Zoom calls and do different things. I was ecstatic to be with the three of you and with everybody else there. So, it says it's a proven fact that we're like the 5 people that we are around the most. So choose well. But when you have a whole room of people from different places, I mean, we had people even who came from way far to be there. I so appreciate that because it's like-minded. You hear a lot about community and different things like that, but again, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being there because it meant a lot to me. And in addition to that, of course, some of my other favorite people is, as you mentioned, Mac, were the Chens. And, for so many years, well over 30, where we would see the Chens, the Chen family, maybe 2 or 3 times, even 3 times a year sometimes. It was delightful to me. I love to see them. I like to see what they're, to be with them, even though we see them, via Zoom occasionally, but not like we're used to. So to me, it was physical presence was one of the first things. And I have a couple other things, but probably maybe somebody else has something to add to that. So maybe I'll chime in on some of the other things. Lisa, what did you enjoy?
Yeah, seeing Dr. Chen speak again, it always takes me back 36 years, 1988, when I had just gotten on Sunrider, and when I went to hear him, I couldn't sleep that night. And I feel the same way. I still get goosebumps when I talk about it. I still got them that day, just seeing him talk about what he knows best, and that's regeneration. And it was so motivating to my group again and again and again every time we hear him, because he's the king of regeneration. So that was thrilling to all of us.
Yeah, I loved seeing the Chens also, and Dr. Chen talking about, the vitamin C versus the whole food, all of that from so many years ago. That was great. I actually also enjoyed Mrs. Chen. She was talking about give me 5. I hadn't heard that in so many years, and that was really, she talked about how she had 5 children, and she told them, if you each have 5 children, then I'll have 25 grandchildren. And she just used that as the example of how you can build your Sunrider business. So simply like that. That was fun to hear that again.
I couldn't agree with you guys more. I thought it was great to have them there. And I had to laugh a little bit at that too, Wendy, because she only has 20 grandchildren. So I think there might have been a little dig in there for Sonny and for Ruben that were in the room as well. But it was really fun to hear them both. And you're right, just hearing Dr. Chen talk about the philosophy of regeneration again, as he always does so expertly, it's wonderful, and it brings me back just like it did for you guys too. And you're right, Mrs. Chen up there with her conversation and the fact that she brought in the whole legacy idea again, back to the gimme 5 thing, Wendy, that you mentioned. It's so true. And I can remember one of the great moments for me was being able to ask everybody in the audience how many 2nd generation Sunriders are in the audience and how many 3rd generations. And my daughter Chloe was in the group, so she stood up on that 3rd generation side, and it showed the continuation of the not just the management of the company, with Sunny moving into the CEO spot now, and Ruben being the director of medicine and so forth, but how all of us too are evolving in our own organizations with family members, et cetera, being involved. So great stuff there. And I guess one other thing I'll touch on, and I'll turn it back to you guys again, is for me too, and I know a lot of it had to do with the Chins being in the room, but looking back at some of the videos and some of the pictures we showed earlier, just in a little collage of stuff, it was the love in the room, and it was palatable. I mean, I felt it. You know, people were coming in that hadn't seen each other in so long. The big hugs. How are things going? What's happening in your life? And the love expressed for the Chins. I mean, Margie and Jackie, Margie Metnet and Jackie did a wonderful emotional presentation and shared their testimonies as well. And again, you just felt the love, you know. So again, those were a couple of my things. We'll come back and talk some more. But Judy, anything else that really resonated with you?
Well, along that same line, I could would be amiss to be able to say that how much it meant to me to be with Sunny and Emily, because not only are they in my group, yay, we see them, you know, they're mentioned weekly for the people they sponsor and all that, but they're very close to me. I've watched them grow up. They're second generation. I was deeply entwined with the first generation that produced them. And so it was so special to see them honored. But also, Mac, you did such a fabulous job on that part where they shared how well they do on Instagram. And I was very encouraged by that. And I love the slide you had up behind them. I thought that helped me, because no secret, I'm no Facebook champ or Instagram either. So, but I just loved it all, and seeing with them, you know, being with them, being to see them and touch base again. Their family's been through a lot, as many families have. And so it was very, very moving, motivating, and encouraging to me. So thank you for that part that you gave. And as far as, again, the Chins, being with them, I think Dr. Chin shows his brilliance, even though it was a short amount of time, how he can take something so complex and reduce it down, like the philosophy of regeneration, when he said, chemicals don't produce life. Only live foods produce life. And so it brings it around yet another way, simply put, to let us know we're in the right place. So that was mine with the people. And then the people who came, I got to see people in my group that I haven't seen again for a number of years. So, and then other people that I'm used to seeing in Sunrider Convention. So again, mine was people, and they did fabulous, like Margie and Jackie. So it is about the people, and the people it attracts for me.
Right on. Lisa, I saw you had your hand up.
I'm going to comment on Emily, because it was really good for all of us who aren't her age to see how easily she grabbed that phone and walked around the room and was basically interviewing people and showing people, and showed us how easily she does her little clips, her little shorts that she does. So that was really great. And as far as seeing all the people, there were people I hadn't thought of, you know, that all of a sudden there they are. And there was a lot of screaming in the room as people grabbed each other and were so excited to see each other. So that was really a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought too, when I was watching Emily and Sunny, and they were talking about doing the Facebook and the Instagram. I have a Facebook account, and I haven't done much of anything with Sunrider on it. And they showed how simple it is and how effective it is. And so I think that would be inspiring to everyone, because I mean, Sunny is signing up right and left, and so simple.
Yeah, true, Wendy. You know, and Judy, I think you said it first. If you go on the Mission Monday calls, or if you see any of the Sunrisers highlights, both Emily and Sunny are mentioned every single week as pretty much the top sponsors. Okay, every single week, and a lot of it is what they have done with their use of social media. And you know, I really appreciate them both, because me too. Okay, I learn every single day, and especially from people like them that show us how truly simple it can be. And I say that recognizing that they put a ton of work into everything they do. They've done a lot to establish their personal brands of, I think, what is Emily's? Holistic Hairstylist, and Sunny is Fit Girl, right? And again, those are brands that they've established around themselves that they post to every week. And Judy, you mentioned the pictures in the background. I mean, for Emily at the age of 40, okay, to show before and after pictures of having acne and after using a product mix like K Pure, what that has done for the quality of her skin at her age. I mean, fantastic stuff. I mean, that's just great. And again, they inspire me to be doing more on social media. And by the way, I'll be sharing this over the next week, but I was able to record. Actually, I won't take credit. My son-in-law, Richard Walker, was able to record because he was in the front row, that section where I shared my testimony and then interviewed Sunny and Emily. So we have it recorded, and I need to ask them their permission first, but I think they'll give it to me. But I'd like to get that out for everybody because I think it's important that people see that weren't there at the meeting, about the type of questions and how they answered them and how they approach the business of Sunrider through social media. So great stuff there for sure. You know, a couple of the other things that were interesting to me were, I think one of you alluded to the people and how far they came. Yeah, we had, you know, Regina Woodson coming from Kansas, Diana Emerson from Oklahoma, and the leadership in the room. I mean, Paul Jensen, Bob Oakes, Aaron Schuster, Glenda Filan, and again, a shout out to Glenda, who really helped get people to the meeting. She has a large group in Phoenix. And again, thank you, Glenda, for everything, as well as to Bob, Aaron, and Paul for having people there over and above our groups to support this meeting, because it was wonderful to see all of those other folks that we don't talk to all the time necessarily, but they are our Sunrider cousins, if you will, you know, and it was just awesome being in the same room. Any other thoughts, Judy, that you wanted to share about the meeting?
Well, not to dwell on the people too much, but I really enjoyed seeing Lilia, and I have seen her in person, but not for all these years, and meeting Maggie in person, and Sehan. I didn't even know that was Sehan. Somehow I had gotten him confused or thought he looked different.
Great.
And they were as nice as they are on Zoom, and that was encouraging, and I made me appreciate how tough, you know, we thought it was on us not having all our products this last year, but they are the same yesterday, today, and I'm confident tomorrow. And Sehan was delightful, and you know, he's important. And
Yes,
Kevin was so nice. Everybody was so nice and helpful to all of us. We were the royalty, so to speak. And I really appreciated being with them. And I also was very appreciative that they're the same as they act like they are. And the way they also were so supportive of whatever was happening in the room and with the Chins.
Mhm.
And so that gives me confidence that they're developing a team that is on the ball and sincere.
Absolutely. Lisa, anything other that resonated with you?
Being the baby.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
beautiful baby.
Yes.
It's just that she brings her baby.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's lovely that she keeps the baby with her, and what a good baby too.
Yes, absolutely. Wendy, any other highlights for you before we kind of move on here?
Well, I thought it was good. I think her name was Joyce, who got out there and said, keep it simple, you know, even though there was complicated explanations and so forth. And she said, just, you know, share your experience. Your upline can fill in all the more detailed information. And I liked the idea of a notebook, investing in a notebook, keeping notes on your goals, what motivates you, and what would motivate other people. The idea of there's new products coming. It's really, Sunrider is expanding so much in Texas. So that was great. I really enjoyed your part, Mac, on the referral business. You know, that's a good reminder again that it's so easy to introduce people by just letting them know that the company pays us to refer people. Those were all really good reminders.
Oh, well, thank you, Wendy. And yeah, it was fun talking about that because you're right. It is, I don't want to oversimplify it, but it is truly that simple. It's build relationships, find out what people's needs are, show them how they can take money that they're spending today and reinvest in superior products with us, and then go out and share that with people to build their own team. So it isn't super complicated, but it's wonderful to remind folks about how simple it can be, you know. For me too, these meetings in general, I think are a great thing. And before I talk a little bit about what's coming next, one of the other major highlights for me, and I just wanted to share it from everybody, we put up on the board the Phoenix 100, okay? And this is something that actually started the meeting in Redmond, Washington a couple of weeks before. And what it was all about, it was us taking the people that are in the room, be it Redmond, Washington, or Phoenix, Arizona, and turning those in to hundreds and then thousands for next year, and then tens of thousands the year after that. And again, the idea was for people to put their name on that board that were committed to bring 5 or 10 new people to the meetings next year that we're going to have. And everyone who went up there and put their name up, I was the first one. But I'll tell you, I think it was when Bob Oakes went up, everybody followed, and it was just wonderful. And it was one of the photos that I shared earlier on, and we'll post again. But we added another 35 to 40 names to the list of people that had committed to bring more people to the meetings next year. And, that's kind of maybe a good way to finish off on the conversation of the meeting, because it was interesting coming out of Redmond and in Phoenix. The one thing I heard at both locations was the same thing. And that is people were saying almost universally, I wish I would have thought to invite so-and-so, or gosh, somebody else should have been here to hear this message as well. So my point to everyone is don't delay. We've got meetings coming up now in Sandy, Utah, and Chattanooga here in the next week in Tennessee, and then Sandy, Utah after that on October 3rd, I believe it is. There's a meeting in Regina, Saskatchewan. Sorry for messing that up, my Canadian friends and brothers and sisters, which I think is very, very important. And then we'll finish off this kind of grand tour in San Diego, at least here in the United States. And I'm actually going to jump across the pond, as they say, and head over to Europe in October to be at the meeting and Pest Hungry with the Chins as well. So there's a lot going on with Sunrider now, and it's a great time to be involved with this company, and just realizing that, again, now is the time. I've said this a million times before, but tomorrow is a result of the choices we make today. So this is the time, folks, okay? Before we move on to a couple of the things I wanted to share, we were extremely fortunate, in my opinion, in Phoenix to have, first of all, the brand new Sunrider recipe book released for us in Phoenix. And what made it super special is for all of us there, we actually were able to get Dr. Chin's autograph signature on each of these books. So again, a wonderful treat. This is a fabulous book. There's some wonderful recipes in here. I've been going through it over the last week, and oh man, there's some stuff I've got to try here. Okay, so if you haven't had a copy of the book yet, if you weren't in Phoenix to get it, it is available through Sunrider. I'm sure they're going to make them available at each of these upcoming meetings. Can't promise you Dr. Chin's going to sign your book for you, but we've really had a lot of fun with that. And that was a great way to kind of finish off our meeting in Phoenix. One of the other things I just wanted to quickly mention to everybody before we talk about what's coming next for our group is this issue of products, okay? And believe me, I'm the first one to acknowledge it's been a rough 12 to 16 months, okay, for many of us, just not being able to get the products that we love and want so badly. And, for me, that showed a couple of things. First of all, it showed the loyalty, the brand loyalty to Sunrider, because people want these foods, okay, and they're demanding them. And what we're seeing now, the TXP, the Texas Manufacturing Facility, is up very much fully producing right now. We've been catching up on a lot of our back-ordered stuff here in the United States, and products are becoming more and more available. I don't want to make promises any more than Kevin does when he sends us these lists, but we've had some new things appear on the website this week, everything from New Plus Mixed Berry to Strawberry Vita Shake to Sunbreeze Oil to the Super Clean Household. More and more things are going to be coming each and every week. So I just recommend to everybody, keep checking that featured products section on the website, because again, we're going to see more and more of these things coming back out. There are a number of other great products that are currently in quality control right now, which probably means they're 2 to 3 weeks away for us. Things that we haven't seen in a long time, back orders of Energy Plus, dandelion roots, Sewoogia, spirulina, replenish gel, a bunch of other things coming out. And the reason I mentioned the quality control side is I want everybody to know Sunrider has not done anything to diminish the quality with this move to Texas, okay? In fact, it's actually been increased. Sunrider still chooses to produce under GMP standards, which we've talked